Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're new here. Today's video is my second trimester recap. For those of you who are new to my channel, I am pregnant with my second baby girl, due at the end of October. I did a first trimester update on my channel. If you want to go back and watch that. I didn't announce my pregnancy until I was about 16 weeks because I did have some complications. So at this point, I'm 29, a little over 29 weeks. And so I'm going to just do a recap of my second trimester. So I'm gonna just be looking at my phone a lot of this again. So just as a recap, if you haven't watched my first video and you don't really want to go back and watch it because it is kind of lengthy, I found out I was pregnant in early January and that pregnancy ended in an early loss. I very quickly got pregnant. About 5 weeks later, found out I was pregnant again, and then I started bleeding around 5 weeks. In my prior video, I explained all that. I had a subchorionic hemorrhage, and that was responsible for, they think that was responsible for my bleeding. Around 9 weeks, I had to start an iron supplement because obviously I was losing blood and my levels were low. Around 10 weeks, I had quit bleeding. Around 13 weeks, I had quit the progesterone supplement that they put me on, but at that point I was still super nauseated, and I was nauseated like from 5 weeks till about, oh gosh, I don't know, 15 weeks. That's kind of where I left off last time, was at 13 weeks, the doctor kind of gave me the okay to quit the progesterone, said that the placenta was developing like it should, and it would take over progesterone production at that point. So, like I said, I did quit bleeding from the hemorrhage around 10-ish weeks, somewhere around there, I don't know exactly. So I started off making notes around 15 weeks because that's when there was changes in the symptoms from what I was having. At 15 weeks, I noted that my nausea did taper down and that kicks were definitely noticeable but inconsistent taps. And I started to get pretty bad bleeding gums. So I don't know why, but it's supposedly due to hormones. My gums bleed so bad whenever I'm pregnant, whenever I brush my teeth. And I noticed at 15 weeks, that's when that started to get worse. So I don't know if that's when there was like a major surge of hormones or what. 16 weeks, I had some nosebleeds, but I noted that it only lasted a weekish. Otherwise, everything was the same. Nausea was getting better, but still there. And I was still feeling inconsistent taps. I didn't have anything noted for 17 weeks, so probably just nothing had changed. 18 weeks, I noticed that my pants were already getting hard to button, is what I put down. At 20 weeks, I had my anatomy scan, and I was getting ready to leave for Texas to go to my mom's, and so she wanted me to have it done before I left, and so they tried to cram me in for an appointment, and there really wasn't any openings, so the ultrasound was super fast. I'm sure just because they were busy and tight for staff, but when I met with the nurse practitioner afterwards, because my doctor was out of town, she was like, everything looks good, but, and I was like, she said that they noticed that there was an extra lobe on my placenta. Like on the total opposite side of where my placenta is, there is another lobe that's feeding, like giving blood supply, but nothing is using the blood supply. So she said with how severe my bleeding was in the beginning and with how small my bleed was, that there is a chance that it could have been a vanishing twin, which would have been responsible for a little bit more bleeding. But she also said that there's no way to ever really know for sure, that sometimes placentas do just develop funky and have extra lobes for like unknown reasons. Anyways, they said that it won't cause me any issues. It's not causing any issues with the baby. The only thing that could be a problem is that later on down the road, like whenever I'm delivering, they have to make sure that they get all of the parts out, because it's not just a standard shaped placenta. They have to make sure that they get all the parts out. Otherwise, you could have issues with pretty severe bleeding or infection. So that's the only thing about that. Who will never know, you know. I didn't have anything down for 19 weeks, or I'm sorry, for 21 or 22 weeks. At 23 weeks, I noticed that I started getting super tired, just like first trimester tired, where I was having to take naps again during her nap time during the day. 24 weeks, I said super tired and uncomfortableness when doing too much, also out of breath a lot, and this is when I feel like I popped and started having issues with my heart racing. which I did have issues with my heart rate flipping into SVT, which is just like a abnormal heart rhythm, and then it flips back normal. It's mostly just due to fluid overload. There's a lot of extra blood flow and a lot of extra fluid on the body, and the heart just is a little bit more stressed out. There's really nothing they can do about it. They just say that you need to rest and whatever. So it's not something that I called the doctor about or that I was overly concerned with at that time. 25 weeks, I said, heart thing still happening, crampy pain, a lot of stronger movements. So that was 25 weeks. And I do notice, like with her, with Riley, when I was pregnant with her, I never had Braxton Hicks contractions, and I never had any contractions of my own, true labor contractions, prior to being induced. So I think that the crampy pain that I had started to feel then around 25 weeks was actually Braxton Hicks contractions here and there, because I've been feeling them now and they do feel like, you know, inconsistent contractions, but I had never had those, so I had no idea what I was, you know, what I was feeling for. The movements definitely got stronger at about 25 weeks. I do have an anterior placenta again, which means the placenta is between the baby and my stomach out here. So the placenta is literally like right behind my stomach, and then behind that is the baby. So because that's there, you don't feel the kicks as strong. 26 weeks, super tired, shorter breath, noticing big moves and rolls for the first time, very uncomfortable at times. This pregnancy, I have been so much more uncomfortable than I was with her. I don't know why. I think just because I was just pregnant not long ago, and it's just different. It's a different pregnancy. But I can definitely tell how, like, oh, my body is just so exhausted, and I just carry her a lot differently. 27 weeks was when I had my glucose test. I got a low result. At the time, my doctor was on vacation again, so she wasn't there to review my results. And the nurse practitioner that was on said, you know, you're slightly anemic. You need to start an iron supplement. I told her I was already on one, and she said to wait to talk to the doctor to see what to do further. I just saw the doctor yesterday. She said that even though I'm still slightly anemic, that my numbers actually look good, so there's no need to do any additional iron. She was concerned with the glucose results when I shared my concerns with those, but I did tell her that I noticed that I'm not having the heart palpitations as often because I've been eating more consistently. Since I knew as a nurse, you know, what number is normal, and I knew it was low, I knew that I needed to start eating a little bit more and more often. When you're just so big and uncomfortable, you just don't feel like eating all the time. But anyways, so now that I've been eating, you know, small meals throughout the day, I haven't noticed the heart thing as often, which means I also don't notice the like extreme shortness of breath as often, because whenever my heart beats really fast, I get out of breath. So she basically gave me instructions on things that I need to be eating to help with that. Long story short, she said that the numbers were really low, that the only thing that she can think is that I have a super high metabolism, and that the baby's using the stores as well, and so that just depletes them faster. So then for 28 weeks, nothing had changed. I didn't have anything additional wrote down. Then just super tired. Some days I have like tons of energy, other days I need to take a nap when she does. And let's see, I have been nesting super hardcore, but that's been for a while. I also have like extreme OCD, so I don't even know if you can call it nesting. I'm just cleaning everything out. We still haven't even started the nursery. I've been in the process of cleaning the room out, so yeah. I think that's about it. I can't think of anything big that has happened between weeks 12, 13 to now, other than the extra lobe and the sugar test results. So I think I'm gonna cut it here. Hopefully this is pretty brief in comparison to the other one. I don't want it to be super chatty, just want it to be informational of what I experienced. Obviously every single pregnancy is different, so if you're not experiencing any of these things, or you are experiencing things that I'm not experiencing, it doesn't mean anything's wrong. Just talk to your doctor. But yeah, I think I'm gonna cut it off here. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to keep up with us, you can subscribe to my channel and turn on the little bell notifications. You'll get notified anytime that I upload. I usually do vlog type content, but obviously since I've been pregnant, I've been doing a lot of baby pregnancy related stuff. So if that's something that you're interested in watching, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Have a good day, you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.